Alright, if you are new to my channel, I live in Central Florida, Zone 9B. Kind of in between Orlando and Tampa. Just moved to my new property March of this year. We've done a lot in a short amount of time. Not as much as I wanted to do. I am 8 months pregnant and currently on bed rest. So what I've wanted to do in the garden has kind of been put on hold. But let me show you all the updates that we've done. My backyard is east. That's east facing. So this is the north side. That's the south side. And it's all open. So it's pretty much sunlight almost the entire day. I think this is the only shady part of my garden. Oops, sorry about that. It still gets sun probably 4 hours. But yeah, so that's been one of my struggles, is trying to find some shade. But anyways, one of the new fruit trees I got was this Jaboticaba. I think it's the Grimo variety. I got it from Green Dreams. It's been in the ground for probably a month now. It's been doing well, putting on new growth. I think I picked a pretty good area for it. It still gets somewhere between 6 and 8 hours sporadically throughout the day. Again, this is on the north side, so it's up against a fence. So it does get a little bit of shade from the house, but it still gets the evening sun from the west and then the morning sun from the east. So at least during the highest peak of the day, it gets a little bit of shade. So it is doing well in this area. I also have this Pitanga cherry. It is also doing well. Got that from Green Dreams as well. Lots of new growth. So looking forward to that. We recently had our grass pulled up. We have like the worst grass weed ever. I think it's either Bermuda grass or crabgrass. Nothing I do can get rid of it. Like, even we had it pulled up completely in mulch and it still manages to pop up through the mulch. I've got some pineapple tops in here sporadically throughout my garden. I've got some dragon fruit, but it looks like something was eating the bottom of it. So I hope my dragon fruit is okay. Whatever was munching on it seems to have stopped. So I hope it didn't impact it too much. This is my oldest pineapple top. I've had that one almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in the fall. So no pineapples yet. We have another pineapple top. That is my Barbados cherry. That was kind of stunted for a really long time. I had it in a pot and it never really grew. But now it's in the ground, gets lots of water, lots of sun. So I'm hoping that it eventually takes off. I've seen videos with other people who have them and they're like huge. So we'll see. I think I got that from like Fast Growing Trees or something like that. It came to me and it looked like a little branch. But we'll see. This is like my little cottage garden, or butterfly garden, I should call it. I have milkweed over here. I have seen some of the monarch caterpillars. I haven't seen any chrysalis, so I have a ton of lizards in this area, so who knows if they even made it. I have this fire bush. Not sure where exactly I want it. I do want it in the ground. I was thinking somewhere in this area to provide a little bit of shade, but we'll see. I'm not sure yet, but I do want to keep it over here in the butterfly garden area, because the butterflies like it and the hummingbirds like it, even though I haven't seen any. So I have some vincas that I've planted. That white one actually propagated. The other two I bought from Lowe's. Society garlic that I have from last year, I brought that with me to this property and planted it in the ground. Those are some hydrangeas that I got for Mother's Day that I am surprised they're still hanging in there. So I put them up against this little decor or fake whale so that it can get some afternoon shade. It gets all of the morning sun from the east, but hopefully none of the afternoon shade, afternoon sun, because they like full sun, but not Florida full sun. And then my little bird feeder that is on against the lane. But it works. All right, let's take you around. My goal is to continue with some fruit trees all the way down. I do have a sprinkler system. That at least reaches that area, but I can't like hand water that area, so I don't know. And I don't know what this tree is. It was here when I got here. It did have two little pretty yellow blossoms on it, but it hasn't blossomed since. And side note, I have a ton of Florida native bees in my yard. I guess they're called mining bees. They dig little burrows in the grass. They're really tiny bees. I didn't know what it was at first, and then I googled it, and I've actually seen them since then. But they don't bother me, so I don't bother them. This is our pond area that my daughter built from watching some videos on YouTube. This is going to be my tropical garden. We added some canna lilies. This one's kind of suffering because it gets zero shade. So poor little, the leaves are so crispy. We've added some foxtail palms. We have a dwarf Cavendish banana that's going over there, and then two queen palms over here. A beautiful tropical hibiscus. I love that tree. The blossoms are like this coral orange, pink. I don't know what it is, but it's gorgeous. I think I want to add another one of those, maybe somewhere on this side over here to add some color. And they can handle the full sun. We have some canna lilies over here, and some elephant ears that I propagated. I found them growing on the side of my house. So I replanted them in some pots. They've since sprouted up new leaves, so I think they're going to do well. I'm going to get a giant birds of paradise. They're huge. They get massive to provide a lot of shade because they can handle full sun. Because we've been having a lot of issues, so I just had my grass cut. So a lot of the clippings ended up in the pond with our water evaporating because this pond is in full sun. And then we also had an algae issue. Our pond was invaded by frogs. They had thousands and thousands of tadpoles in here. Since then, we've added 6 goldfish in here to kind of help keep the tadpole population under control, and 2 algae eaters as well. But we're going to make some modifications. We're actually going to move this fountain further in so that it doesn't cascade over the rocks but falls directly into the pond to create a little more aeration. Then we moved that bench here, and we're gonna get some beach chairs to put over here. This is like sugar sand, or it was already here on the property, so I'm just gonna buy some more of the playground sand and add in this area. That's my dog Samson patrolling. We've had a lot of challenges with our neighbor and their dogs. That's a whole nother story. These are the elephant ears. I dig up the pulps that come up. I'm probably going to do a couple more. It's a lot easier than I thought it would be. They like some sun, but not direct sun like those are getting. Hopefully once the birds of paradise go in, it'll provide some shade during parts of the day. And as the palm trees get bigger, they'll also provide some shade. But I'm going to add a lot of more tropical plants and flowers around this area so it can be my little tropical oasis. All right, I have installed a little fence. This is my little garden area. I don't have a lot going on in the annual garden because, again, I am 8 months pregnant and what I can do is limited. But I'm gonna have garden beds that line the side. Crazy dog. Here, and then some garden beds in the middle and up against that fence there. But I do have some stuff. I do have some cherry tomatoes. It was from Variety Pack. Red, yellow, and orange is all it said. So far, it looks like they're going to be orange. I don't see any yellow ones. I was hoping for, I had some yellow ones one year and they were really good, but this is probably ready. Yep. I have these orange ones, so I'll taste those. Hopefully I like them. My poor little pepper here has just been stunted. Hasn't really done much since I planted it. This is another seedling. These I got in pots a little late. The ones that are much bigger I got in pretty early. So it is important to plant your seedlings in their, destination. Because if you wait till they start flowering and they get all stressed out, they don't do as well. They get a little stunted. This is my beautiful black-eyed Susan. If you didn't know, when you grow these from seed, they don't blossom until the second year. So it takes a lot of patience. But I have tons of new blossoms coming. The leaves are very soft and squishy. Almost like if you've ever felt like a lamb's ear plant, that's what it feels like. But it's absolutely stunning. I have another one. I thought this was going to be a yellow variety, but they kind of look the same as the orange one. This is a shishito. This is a yellow pear. They have a long pear shape. I have random onions everywhere. I have weeds everywhere. This is a shishito, loaded with peppers. I'll probably come and harvest some of the big ones. Just because it's starting to get so hot, I don't want the plant to get stressed out. My last remaining beet, the oregano bush that is growing out of control. I did let it flower. The bees really like it. I have some okra, red candlefire okra that is struggling a little bit. These are some tiger lilies from last year. Some more onions. I do have a Cosmo in there. Blue salvia. The pollinators love it. I have 2 blueberry bushes that are struggling. Let me show you those. One is doing okay. So this one back here is a different variety. Smaller leaves. Seems to be doing okay. Those are all weeds that need to be pulled out. But this one has a bigger leaf and it is not tolerating the summer heat. So my plan is to actually take those out, the blueberries, and I may take the salvia, I don't know, and put it over in the butterfly garden area. Onions in the front. These are some green onions that I have from the store that I planted back in here. My neighbor's weeds coming through the fence. This poor little thing has seen its last days. This is my midnight snack. Cherry tomato is absolutely delicious. I'm literally just waiting on these last few bundles to turn a little bit red like this. They'll have a black top and a red bottom. The best. This is one of my bell peppers. Got some growing on here. This is a LSU fig. Seeing some new growth, so it's doing okay. This was my pineapple sage. That's been taken over by weeds. I need to redo that whole thing. This beautiful but deadly plant was here when I got here. Produces these vibrant purple flowers, but has the longest thorns I've ever seen. I left it here because it's just simply beautiful, and I didn't want to remove it. And then I have a blackberry bush that is flowering. Don't know if we'll get any blackberries this year, but I'm going to basically trail it along the fence. And then I have a morning glory here on the inside that I'm also going to trail along the fence. And the goal is to hopefully get a gate or some way to keep the animals out of this area. But this is going to be my annual garden area for now. Going to keep it small where it's manageable. Here is going to be my fruit orchard. I have a regular size Cavendish banana, Myers lemon. I haven't determined the location for that one yet, which is why it's still in the pot. I have a, I think it's called Maha Chinook. It's like a Thai mango. Got this from a flea market. I do top it. Otherwise they'll grow just long and straight like a branch. So I took the top growth off and it'll grow from the sides. This is a sweet stop. Got this from a local nursery in Florida. I think it's called Laura's Farm, or I forget. I think that's what it's called. This is a Kent mango. Also got this one from Laura's Farm. This is my papaya. Got that from Lowe's. Doing okay. Putting on growth. This was a lemon that I have from seed. I think this is my world's best mulberry. Got that from Green Dreams. I did strip all the leaves because it had like this weird black spot on every single leaf, so I stripped every leaf off. And it's put on all these new leaves that seem to be healthy. And this is the Everberry mulberry. That seems to be doing well. Got some flowers on it. My compost area. I have some zinnias planted in here and some amaranth. We've done a lot Lord knows these chickens. If you've been following me a while, you know the horror story that I've had with chickens. Our neighbors have since gotten rid of their rock rollers. So we're praying that that's the end of that chapter. But we did get some new chicks. We've had them for a while. We have some Easter eggers. We adopted that brown and white one. Don't know what breed they are. And then we have some more chicklings in the back, and 2 little ducklings that will hopefully be enjoying our pond soon. More flowers. We have cosmos, some more zinnias, and amaranth. This is the only in-ground bed that I have. I've got some sunflowers growing in here. I have southern peas growing here, and then sweet potato vines growing down there. Basically, this is my low maintenance bed. All of these are sun loving, summer loving plants that you don't have to do anything with. So this is our rabbit hutch. We have a new shelter coming for them, so they'll have a nice little pretty condo to go inside of their run. That's their little digging play box. And then I have sour sop over here. And then I have pink Eureka lemon. Can't remember where I ordered that from. I've had it for a while. Has not produced any fruit. Does blossom every single year. This is the first year in the ground, so hopefully we'll see some action. This was here when we got here, so I'm not quite sure what that plant was. The leaves looked like citrus leaves, but I don't know. I haven't seen any blossoms or anything on it. So that is pretty much the update for what's going on right now. Nothing else in the back. I probably won't be doing anything in the back until maybe the fall. Just depends. I'll have an infant, so we'll see how much time I have. But I do want to add like a watermelon patch back there. A ton of more fruit trees, just kind of lining the fence. I'm gonna buy some more green stalks. I have more pineapple plants and aloe. We have one green stalk here. Lots of stuff going to seed. The soil level is getting low, so I need to top dress it. Letting all of my contender green beans go to seed and dry out on the plants. They're extremely good. They produce a lot. They don't have that string. So I found a variety that I like. I have lots of onions. I have one dwarf sunflower that is growing in here. California Wonder Pepper that I overwintered. It's not gonna like our summer, so this will be probably as big as the peppers get, because it's starting to maintain in the 80s and sometimes the 90s. So I'm basically just letting stuff kind of die off on its own. This volunteered itself. I did have collard greens, Georgia Southern, and mustard spinach in here that I let go to seed. And the seed must have been in here because it started growing on its own. So I don't expect much out of it. It probably won't even last long. I've been breaking them off and giving them to the chickens and rabbits. And then my last little few seedlings here. This is a Valencia orange that I had that was really good that I popped in here. So it's a couple months old. It's doing well. This area only gets maybe an hour or two with sunlight, so it's pretty protected. This is I want to say mimosa tree. Got the seeds from Hawaii. They produce like these beautiful pink pom-poms that are their flowers. The leaves and the flowers are supposed to be medicinal. You can use them in teas. This is my poor little Julie mango. It was very tiny. It's a graft. It just struggled when I got it. So again, I stripped all the leaves off, put it over here in the shade where it can get kind of babied. And it does have new growth coming on it. And then this is some seedlings. I have some alyssum here, some butterfly weeds, and another morning glory that I'm still waiting to get a little bit bigger before I put them out. So that is it, guys. We've come a long way since March when we first moved in. We have a long way to go. But gardening is a process. You kind of do what you can and trust your vision. So hope everyone is out there enjoying their day and growing something. Oh, and this is for my mother, because she watches my channel. Just an update on her rose that she bought me. It's putting on a lot of new growth. I have to get that out of there. So I have to watch some videos on how to prune and take care of roses. I think it's a climbing rose, so I'm not quite sure how to take care of it. So, Mom, here's your rose. It's still surviving, growing, doing wonderful. All right, guys. Love you and have a blessed day.